It's your boy Imperial Valley bringing you the latest chapters of My Hero Academia. But before we get into that, I do want to take the time out and apologize for any inconvenience last week. Well, it was a situation, it was technical difficulties happening last week, but all things is good. So, further ado, I would like y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. It helps the YouTube channel grow. It helps me flourish, and I greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Chapter titles Together with Shoji. So the chapter opens up with Shoji talking, actually yelling at Spinner, saying, do you do you consider the well-being of the hospital? So you got a mindless, what looked like a Baki mindless Spinner looking like consider the well being of the hospital. Like what the fuck? Why would I do that? Like shit, nigga, the way they treated us, like why should I care? So you got Shoji looking like, oh, I swear, if your answer is no, I'm never gonna forgive you, and you're gonna set this shit way back than what it need to be. So you got a mindless Spinner just looking like, if I had considerations of like a hospital, why would I care about the hospital when I only have one agenda going on, one situation? One thing is to get Kodagiri back. Like, so why would I care about anything else? Like, what? Like, you sound goofy. So you got the followers like, yo, you got this. Like, we will follow you and do anything. We're gonna get Kodagiri back, right? So they questions it, and then you got Spinner just looking so mindless and bro just look like a mindless slave right now, a mindless reptile, and he looking like no idea with a question mark. So you got everybody starting to question him like no idea. So you got the speaker like, yo, yeah, what he means is people have no idea what we suffering. So he like, yo, you know what? Look, we get Spinner. He's the leader, but it's like, yo, at the end of the day, Spinner don't have his mind really in depth, like in tune. So he's just speaking just to make sure everybody following Spinner to make sure this plane go off without a hitch. Like that's what I'm hearing. So we get to see Shoji. We actually see his stars and everything. So he looking like Spinner. This attack will set our time back at least 30 years. At least 30 years if you're going with this attack. And Spinner's just looking like, oh, honestly, I don't care. Like, I have a job and I'm gonna fulfill my job. That's all that matters. And then we get a flashback of All for One looking like, if you're gonna use his durability, you should also use this on top of that. It's gonna help. It's gonna help boost your defense. Like, and then we get to see this like this mutation of Spinner, and it's like, yo, it's like Scale's armor on top of his durability, which is mutating his skin and showing a lot more scales all over his body. It's interesting. It's really interesting. So and then you got All for One looking like go be the true leader you're meant to be. So and then you got Spinner looking in agony. He say be fine with anything. And then you got Shigaraki looking like you used to play with me too. And then it cuts to flashback and we see again Spinner just covered in all these scales going berserk and he's just attacking Shoji. Like they having an all out brawl right now. Shoji versus the Spinner, and it's like, yo, honestly, this is pretty interesting. I would have never expected this to be the outcome. Like, so they actually going back and forth, destroying some buildings, parts of buildings, and then you got Coda looking like, oh, that's Shoji. So you got the one that's talking and shit like, yo, everybody just like, let's focus on the footsteps and keep on moving to get Kodagiri back. That's our main agenda. That's our main part in our plan. Spinner will take care of the rest. So you got him still chanting and talking to niggas, like keeping them all up and going, like, yo, no matter what happens, just know Spinner can take care of his own. Our main agenda is to get Kodagiri back under any circumstance, no matter the case, no matter the cause. And then you see Kota looking like, oh, this can't be serious. Like Shoto's actually really going through hell. So and then you got a flashback with Shoji rather. Sorry about that. Actually explaining his backstory and how he went through hell and like how he got treated and how his parents was armless because And his part where he came from is like, oh, when he's in the countryside, like for us, it was bad. Like pure bloods was absolute. So what they'd do is they'd take any body parts of anything to make sure they could preserve the pure blooded people. Like if you pure blood, we're gonna preserve you at all costs. Like because obviously you're pure blood. If you're not like a homophobe or a mutant, yo, you're great in our eyes. You're like elite level. You're like God in a sense. And if you a goddamn mutant or whatnot, bro, we don't want you, bro. You're trash. You're garbage. Like get him out of here. Like you're slaves. So he got put down. So it's showing like he got put down many times over and over. And it's like, yo, the way how they projected all this on him and actually wounded and hurt him, it's crazy. Do you got Minita? He actually apologized because like, yo, you know what? Honestly, I apologize for calling you these names, doing all this, and like, so Shoji looking like, honestly, it doesn't bother me. Like, I know you ain't mean nothing about it. Like, you didn't mean any harm, so it's okay. But I always kept this one memory of the good that outweighed the bad, and this is why I always keep a mask on for people who won't look at me differently or want to strike me down because of my deformalities or what I am. And then so you got the whole class one day looking like they was a little sad, so they looking like, yo, we're gonna make so much many more memories that outweighs the bad and it actually encompasses that one little simple memory that you have. And he looking like even Koda and Sasuke, they don't got it that bad because they was born in the city, so they thought like that in the outside of the world, the countryside was all good, but it's like in all honesty, it's not. It's hell. It's shit. But it's okay. So we see a flashback of Koji actually saving someone, and it's like, yo, that's so nice. Oh no, never mind. That's his little sister. So he have the memory of saving his little sister, and he chooses to embrace that instead of being sad. And it's like, yo, that's so dope. And then we flash forward back to the present, and we see Shoji saying from now on we're gonna make a ton of happy memories between us all as he's still facing off with Spinner. And it's like, yo, this is getting crazy. This is getting real wild. And then we see Spinner looking at he's roaring, and then you got Shoji looking like, yo, I'm gonna become the world's coolest hero, and I pass this good memory on to the next generation. And it's like, yo, that is so dope. It's so touchful. And then you see Shoji actually looking like, yo, he suffered discrimination from our oppressors all all his life, and he like, yo, I'm gonna make a change. We're gonna change that. I'm gonna make sure we and no one else have to go through oppression or discrimination ever again. So you see them two going back and forth, and it's like, yo, it's getting crazy. And then you see Kota actually crying, like, don't you dare ever laugh at Shoji. And it's like, yo, this is getting so touching. I'm not gonna lie. And then you see Shoji just looking like he's morphing into something. And he says, "What I can say, it's just what I can say. It's just who I am." And that's where the chapter ends. That I'm not gonna lie, this was actually a nice 10 out of 10. Horikoshi did his thing. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty interesting and informative, and actually getting a whole in-depth backstory about the whole discrimination for Koji. It was Shoji. It was actually interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little sad. But that wraps up this chapter. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, have an awesome day. And Pierre Valley out.